Scripts and plays are a fantastic way to explore language, and if we act them out, it's a really great way to really connect us to that language. If you're not convinced, I'm going to find a play, take just one line from it, break that line down, work on it, and prepare it for performance, or something I like to call a one-line workshop. Hi, I'm Hugh Illingworth and I run Act English courses, a program designed to help you boost your English using everything that drama and theatre have to offer. So let's get straight into it. First stage, the first thing we need to do is find a play and choose a line. There's an almost unlimited number of plays that you could choose from. But try and choose something that isn't too old, so not more than 60, 70 years old, and the dialect isn't too regionally specific, so it's not too difficult to use. Also, just try something nice and short and simple and not too overlong and complicated. And here we found our line. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. So we have our line and we move on to stage 2. Let's check the context. This is important. As I said, you don't want it to be too regionally specific, but you need to know broadly when this is and who these people are. So here we have a play set in 1960s suburban America. So some of the language may be a bit dated, but there shouldn't be any major surprises. This is general American. The character speaking is male, but I don't think that really makes any difference to this particular line. So let's get on to stage 3, language. Now it's obviously really important that you know what it is you're saying. And to really get that, it's good to explore the language in other contexts and how it might be used in other ways in everyday speech. The word that stands out immediately is nightcap. Nightcap. Now, this, if you look it up, could mean one of two things. The first is a literal cap that you wear to bed at night. Now, not many people do this anymore. I'm not sure they ever really did, but it's therefore not a word that's used much in everyday speech, so probably not that. If you look at the stage directions with the line at the beginning in brackets, it talks about a portable bar, and this will give you a clue as to the actual meaning. Nightcap, as in a drink that you have to finish off an evening or a night. The final drink of the evening, or literally to cap off the night, a night cap. So let's also look at this phrase at the beginning, I don't suppose. Now this is more commonly used in English to make requests and make them politely because it expresses a degree of doubt. Compare, could you lend me £10 with, I don't suppose you could lend me £10. Or, can you give me a lift to the station? With, I don't suppose you could give me a lift to the station. Here it's being paired with a hypothetical with would, and the hypothetical here that it would kill them, like it would be the end of the world, is so unlikely that it's playful and humorous to use I don't suppose before it. I don't suppose it would be the end of the world. I don't suppose it would kill either one of us. So once you're really happy that you fully understand the language, you can move on to stage 4, pronunciation. Now, there's a really big thing in this sentence that stands out for me with this word nightcap, is it's followed by the word would and contracted to nightcapped, which can be very hard to say and to hear. You're probably quite familiar with these contractions with pronouns, with the word had or would, like he'd, we'd, she'd, they'd. And you can practice these by turning them into single words. So weird becomes weird, like the word weird. Or sheared becomes sheared, like to shear a sheep, sheared sheep. Here you can do the same thing, but you need to start quite small. So you might just start with ud, ud, pud, pud. Working out, cappered, cappered, cappered. And then adding the whole word, night-cappered, night-cappered. Then adding a bit more of the sentence, night-cappered kill, night-cappered kill. And then trying the whole thing. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap'd kill either one of us. What you'll find is when you add in the broader context of the sentence, that it then becomes harder to keep the discipline around the pronunciation. So whenever that happens, if it goes wrong and you lose the words, just go back to that ud, pud, cappered, and work outwards again. Now, it's not essential that you pronounce it in this way, and so you can use, on my courses anyway, a bit of dramatic license. So you can use some freedom in the way you say this to say it in a completely different way. So you could say maybe, well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. And therefore losing the contraction there. It's up to you. Another way of dealing with some of the challenges in the sentence and practicing it is to break it down into chunks. And this is also an opportunity to look at where the speech connects in other ways. So, kill either could be one chunk. One of us could be another chunk. And go into the beginning, well, kind of stands on its own. I don't suppose a nightcap'd kill either one of us. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap'd kill either one of us. And you can practice those individually and then put them all together as one. The next thing we need to think about is stressed words, which are really, really important for giving clarity and strength to the sentence, making it fully understood and giving something for you to put the drama in the scene and put that energy of that drama, where to channel it, where to put that energy. There's no science to this unless you have nuclear stress. So nuclear stress means you're stressing words which are crucial to conveying meaning. For example, if I said, I had to work all day yesterday, I'm stressing the fact that I had to. If I said, I had to work all day yesterday, I'm stressing the fact that it was yesterday, not today. And so those things become very important. Here, there's not really anything as such that represents nuclear stress, but you still want to find some words to really give some strength to the sentence. I'm going to choose nightcap and one as my two stressed words. And of course, if you have a word with more than one syllable, like nightcap, you have to choose the syllable in the word, or maybe in a long word, more than one syllable in a word that you're going to stress. So in nightcap, it's the word night in nightcap, the syllable night. So nightcap, one. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. So you can just hear that extra bit on those two. Now, when you exaggerate, you can really exaggerate those two stressed words, and you might just practice them on their own. Night, one. Night, one. And then when you put it into the sentence, well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. So we're now very nearly there, and we're on to stage 5, which is character and emotion. Now, this line comes at the beginning of the play, and he talks about this nightcap, but it really doesn't turn out to be a nightcap because they continue to drink throughout the play. In fact, it's probably one of the most drunken plays you will ever see or read. So you might bring in a bit of drunkenness, relaxed drunkenness at this stage, because the stress levels of the play haven't really emerged yet. And just try and find a gesture or some physicality that isn't your own. So, I don't know, maybe a little point like this. This isn't something I would normally do, and I feel very different when I do it, and it makes me feel like somebody else. And that's the main thing. Think about the way the line's delivered at this stage. It's just fairly casual, it's fairly light. They haven't really started arguing. This is a couple, they're very familiar with each other. But to practice, and before we come back to that, we're going to try the line out in lots of different ways, using lots of different emotions. So the first thing we can do is try the line with an angry emotion, remembering to keep those stresses that you've practiced before. So angry could be, well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. You could then maybe try excited. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. You could try whispering it using a kind of stage whisper so it's still very clear. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us. You see, I'm still keeping those stressed areas of the sentence as strong as I can. You could try to the gods. Well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us, etc. So that's it. You should now be ready to perform your line. You can practice as much as you like until you feel happy. What really matters is that you can convince your audience that this is language that you own, or at least the character you're playing owns. That this is something he or she would say quite naturally. Don't worry about doing this in an American accent. That's hard enough for even UK English speakers to do. Your accent is absolutely fine. And some of the advice I've given here, say around connected speech, is just there to help you if it does. But you do whatever you need to do to make it work. And finally, you can pick up a play of your own and find a line and do exactly the same thing as I've done here. Just make sure you understand the language, that you've worked on the delivery, and that you can perform it convincingly in a character that isn't your own. And with that, well, I don't suppose a nightcap would kill either one of us.